it's so cold. Ah! Ah!
Wow, somebody lived back here. No stove.
Is it for us?
You guys need help or something?
No, we were just wondering what the light was.
From a truck circling a remote campsite in the dark to heavy footsteps moving just beyond a tent in the Idaho woods. These camping encounters all begin the same way, realizing you may not be alone. Would you stay or leave before something got closer? Hoodoo Outdoors is a YouTube channel created by a couple who are passionate about camping, hiking, hunting, fishing, and spending time outdoors. In January 2025, they chose to try something different: bushcraft camping. The idea was simple: build a shelter from the ground up and spend the night inside it, taking their outdoor experience in a new direction. The day itself felt fairly normal.
Build a bushcraft shelter and camp in it. Here's my wife, Soraya. Okay, so we got plenty of firewood. We're gonna spend the next while gathering as many trees as we possibly can.
Out in the wilderness, they worked on the shelter, prepared everything for the night, and settled in as the light began to fade. As darkness moved in, the atmosphere slowly shifted.
It was about this time that we heard the first yell. We heard two guys way off in the distance yelling, and it came from that direction. I walked over to my car, but no one was there. But I did see the lights of a truck off in the distance. I didn't film this part because I didn't think much of it, and it wasn't a very big deal. We have a guy right there that parked his truck. He keeps shining his brights at us, and he has not left us alone ever since we got here. Now he's got his lights completely off.
Really close to it though.
Okay, he came like feet away from my car, like right here. And then I shone a light at him and he took off. So I was just following his tracks a little bit. He chucked this out the window.
He kept shouting like stuff at us too. I don't know what. We couldn't really understand.
Around that time, they heard the first shout. Two men were yelling somewhere far off in the distance. It sounded like it might have been near the car, which was only a few hundred yards away. The noise was coming from that direction. He walked over to check, but no one was there. What he did notice, though, was a truck parked in the distance with its cab lights on, engine still running. He didn't film it since it didn't seem important at the time and didn't feel like a major concern.
So this guy's coming towards us now. So we're gonna get in the Jeep.
They're coming up around us, like on the other side.
So Soraya's hearing these guys sneaking up on us now with their lights off. Like, this is not normal. So we're just gonna be safe and get out of here. But then we heard them turn around and get back in their truck. I've spent hundreds of nights outside, and like, I'm totally fine camping next to people. Heck, when people act like that, it's best to just leave. It's just not worth it.
That way we can get out of here fast.
The truck remained out there in the dark, and something about it just didn't feel right. There was movement around the campsite, and the tension began to build. The trip didn't feel the same anymore. He had spent hundreds of nights outdoors and was used to being around other people. He had lived in a van, stayed at campsites, and been around strangers many times. But this felt different. When people act like that, it's better to leave. It's just not worth staying when you don't know what they're planning. Moments later, things escalated.
I don't know if you can see, but they're driving right over to us again. And now they're watching us. They can tell us that we're here because our lights are on. Here's the Jeep. Oh, they're coming towards us, Brighton. What? They're coming towards us.
You guys need help or something?
No, we were just wondering what the light was.
We're just camping.
Oh, okay.
The vehicle started moving, circling around the campsite in a way that raised real concern. Nothing actually happened, but that didn't make it feel any better. They decided to pack up and leave. When someone keeps circling your camp for no clear reason, there's no way to know what they want, and that uncertainty alone is enough to walk away. Sometimes nothing really happens, but the feeling stays with you, and that alone can say a lot. So what would you do in that situation? Valerie is an adventure traveler and a solo explorer, always looking for raw, authentic moments during her journeys alone. On her personal YouTube channel, she often shares peaceful experiences, the kindness of locals, and the untouched beauty of remote locations. This time her destination is Lulu Hot Springs, a place formed by heat rising from deep beneath the earth. The video was uploaded on June 21st, 2023. At first, everything feels quieter than Valerie expected. She quickly finds the area and takes in its wild natural scenery.
I made it! No one's here. I have the whole place to myself. Oh, holy shit. Oh.
But that same beauty comes with hidden risks all around her. The ground temperature shifts without warning. Just a few steps can change from warmth to intense heat. Thick sulfur fills the air, heavy and sharp enough to make you feel dizzy if you stay too long. The terrain is slick from condensed steam scattered with boiling pools that have no warning signs. Most importantly, there is no one else around. No phone signal, no passers-by, no chance of being found if something goes wrong.
Whoa! Bye! Few rocks were falling down right there where I was walking before, and they were quite big, so it's quite dangerous here. Thank you, Hot Spring! You gave me a lot.
I was really tempted to explore more and go deeper into the canyon, but the risk of getting hit by falling rocks was just too high.
My knees were shaking a bit when I passed this canyon a second time, because after seeing the big rock falling out, it could have ended very badly. So if you come here, please be aware, look up a lot, or bring a helmet.
The danger from falling rocks becomes too serious to ignore. Her legs begin to shake as she passes through the canyon again. After watching a large rock fall from the cliff, she realizes how easily things could have gone wrong. Leaving Lulu is the safer choice. Valerie has only one option: cross a deep freezing river on her own, while her body is already drained by heat dehydration and exhaustion. Sometimes the danger is already there even when everything looks calm at first. So would you have stayed longer or turned back sooner? Anyone familiar with the risk understands how dangerous winter ice can be. But this man didn't seem worried, or maybe he simply didn't expect things to unfold like this. The video was uploaded on December 23rd, 2016. Michael is an experienced angler, known for taking on extreme fishing challenges in some of the harshest weather and terrain. But in the freezing cold of 11 degrees below 0 Celsius in New Jersey, this trip quickly went wrong as ice covered the lake, shutting down all of his usual plans.
Come on. Guys, it's frozen. Gosh dang. Is it safe ice? Can I step on it? Okay, not safe ice. How thick it is. That's about an inch thick right there. Gosh dang it.
Instead of stopping, Michael stepped straight onto the thinning ice. That single choice led to a terrifying outcome, something he would never want to experience again.
So, since the ice won't break. Oh! 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 Ah, it's so cold! Ah! 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 Get your body completely out of the ice! Ah, it's so cold! Ah! Ah! Okay, that freaking hurt. I fell in the ice.
Okay?
Yeah, get out.
Fortunately, Michael was able to pull himself back onto the shore. But the danger didn't end there. Falling into freezing water is dangerous because the body loses heat very quickly. When that happens, the brain stops functioning properly and it becomes harder to think or move. This is how hypothermia begins. Many people don't collapse right away, but a few minutes later when their body becomes too cold. If they don't warm up in time, they can pass out. In this situation, with wet clothes and freezing air, that could have easily happened. Sometimes the real danger comes after you think you're safe. So would you have taken that step onto the ice? Javier Castillo is a creator from Mexico and the person behind the YouTube channel Cazadores del Oeste, a channel that has attracted a large audience of outdoor enthusiasts, especially people interested in hunting. But not ordinary hunting, because Javier mainly tracks animals that realistically are capable of hunting him just as easily. In this video, he is joined by his two dogs, Cheekies and Coco, deep inside a forest that already feels slightly unsettling even during the daytime. They head out while the sun is still high, relaxed and confident, hoping they might encounter a bear, possibly a mountain lion, or even a group of coyotes. During the day, everything feels normal. The forest sounds natural, familiar, almost peaceful. But once the light slowly begins to disappear, the atmosphere gradually shifts into a far more uneasy camping encounter. The dogs begin reacting differently, responding to faint noises coming from deeper within the woods. The sounds are not especially loud or obvious, yet they completely change the mood around them.
Coyotes. Listo, ahora sí que empiece el show. También, mi gente, se me hace que me voy a poner una cámara aquí en el pecho. Pues no voy a poder sacar la cámara luego y grabar al animal si sale corriendo, si me ataca. Así que voy a tener una cámara en el pecho. Pero ahorita ando en un lugar extremo y necesito las dos manos. Come on.
After hearing what sounds like a pack of coyotes, Javier and the dogs attempt to track them, convinced the animals are nearby. They move carefully through the trees, stop repeatedly to listen and change direction several times, but they never find anything. The sounds disappear almost as quickly as they began. Eventually, he returns to camp, sets up his tent, and prepares to spend the night alongside Cheekies and Coco. But the forest never truly becomes quiet. Multiple times throughout the night, the dogs wake him. Distant howls, footsteps moving through leaves and branches snapping somewhere beyond the darkness. Javier appears prepared. He carries a rifle and has years of experience, so he never seems genuinely frightened. Even so, the atmosphere maintains a constant sense of tension. The night passes without any direct encounter, and the hunt ultimately ends without a trophy. Sometimes nothing actually happens, but the feeling that something could happen is enough to change everything. If you were in a camping encounter like this, hearing those sounds in the dark, would you stay or leave before something finally revealed itself? Bo, known online as Aquachigger, runs a channel with more than 1 million subscribers. If you've seen his videos before, you know he spends a lot of time searching for hidden pieces of history, old coins, forgotten artifacts, and abandoned structures deep in the woods. Many of his trips slowly turn into strange camping encounter situations, especially when exploring isolated places where almost anything can happen without warning. In this clip, he's exploring a forest in Louisiana when he discovers an abandoned building. During the trip, he records something on camera that he doesn't even notice at the time. He only catches it later while editing the footage. At the start of the video, he mentions hearing strange noises nearby, but because he's used to being alone in remote areas, he brushes them off. Even so, the sounds are clearly audible. At one point, he finds an object that honestly looks like something straight out of Season 1 of True Detective.
Now, loup-garou is like it's like a Cajun werewolf. That might be what we heard. Now, it could be somebody living in there and getting ready to capture us. See anything? Looking here, I'm seeing there's... Oh, look, somebody lived back here. It almost dove. I wonder what the... Oh, look, voodoo. This is the trap for the humans. Right there. We could hear some tin moving.
So there's something here trying to get out. Now I suspect there's a big old coyote. Yeah, look at that. There's a big, oh, that coyote was hanging around here for some reason. I don't think he can climb trees. See any up there? Known for many years, named Ray Basco. He's an old character. He's gonna tell you all about those Lucaroos. If he hasn't turned into one yet.
Most viewers probably wouldn't notice anything immediately, which makes sense because the moment happens fast. But after slowing the footage down right as Bo steps inside, something appears to move near the window. It's subtle but noticeable enough to make you question what you saw. Then add the unusually large footprints in the dirt and the brief shape behind the structure, and suddenly, it feels like he may not have been completely alone out there. Realistically though, it could have been anything: an animal, another person nearby avoiding the camera, or simply a trick of light and movement that looks more dramatic on video than it actually was. There's also the possibility the moment was staged. It wouldn't be the first time someone added mystery to make a video more engaging, especially with content built around camping encounter experiences. But there's no clear proof of that, either leaving the situation open to interpretation. If you were there, would you trust what you saw or assume it was nothing? Thailand Flow is another TikTok creator who normally uploads very ordinary content, nothing extreme, mostly simple everyday clips. But in one video recorded inside Brindabella National Park, the atmosphere feels noticeably different. What starts as a quiet trip slowly turns into a tense camping encounter. He's there with his dog Moose, and Moose begins acting strangely. At first it could have been anything: a scent in the air, a distant sound, normal behavior for a dog in the forest, but as night slowly sets in, the mood changes completely. The dog becomes increasingly alert, and when a dog familiar with the outdoors reacts that way, it's difficult not to feel like something nearby may be wrong.
Without a doubt, the creepiest campsite we've been to. After arriving late to the campsite, it was very quiet, but for some reason, I just had the hairs standing up on the back of my neck, and the dog was constantly growling at different things. But just for some reason, this particular camp spot at this time of night just really put the wind up me.
It becomes pretty clear that Moose notices something moving in the darkness, and near the end of the clip there's a brief moment where a pair of eyes reflects light between the trees. Whatever was standing there remains unknown, but one detail immediately stands out: the height of those eyes and the distance between them. It definitely wasn't something small moving through the brush. Whatever it was appeared fairly large. Then there's the detail about the hair rising on the back of his neck. Was it simply an animal? Most likely. But standing in complete darkness while your dog reacts like that makes the situation feel far more unsettling. The encounter leaves behind more questions than answers, especially when every detail seems to point towards something quietly nearby. If you were there, would you trust your instincts, or convince yourself it was nothing? The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Pipe 97 in August of 2025. In the video, the uploader and one of his friends attempt to free climb a construction crane standing roughly 1,000 feet above downtown Toronto. While it isn't a traditional outdoor setting, the situation carries the same tension and unpredictability often found in a high-risk camping encounter, where one mistake can instantly change everything. At the start of the video, they quietly enter the active construction site, carefully moving through dark, unfinished hallways and hiding behind concrete pillars, while searching for a path leading to the crane base. From the moment they stepped inside, they believed workers or security guards could still be somewhere in the building. So they moved cautiously, knowing a single mistake could get them caught before even reaching the crane. They kept their lights low, stayed near shadowed corners, and avoided drawing attention as they moved deeper inside the structure. However, just as they believed they were getting close to a route upward, they suddenly heard nearby voices confirming they were not alone. Even without knowing exactly where the sounds were coming from, they still chose to continue toward the crane. Their patience and careful movement eventually paid off, and by waiting for the right opportunities, they managed to slip past everyone inside the building and reach the crane base without being detected. From there, they began the long climb upward, pulling themselves higher, rung by rung, and pausing on narrow platforms to catch their breath, while the city lights grew smaller beneath them. After a difficult ascent, they finally reached the top, stepping onto the upper structure with the Toronto skyline spread out below. But the moment didn't last long. Before they could fully take in the view, police sirens sounded somewhere in the distance, forcing them to quickly climb back down and leave before authorities arrived.
Hold up. Is it for us? I have no idea.
Yeah. Don't make noise. Don't make noise. Don't make noise. Be careful. Very good.
Hey!
Once outside the building and back in the open air, adrenaline kept them moving. For a brief moment, it seemed like they had escaped until they realized they still needed to get past the people guarding the site. As they crossed the lot, they rushed past security, avoiding eye contact and moving as quickly as possible before anyone reacted. In the distance, the sirens continued, though it was never fully clear whether they were connected to the climbers or something else happening in the city that night. Regardless, the two accomplished exactly what they set out to do: free climb a 1,000-foot crane in downtown Toronto and make it out safely. At that height, there is absolutely no room for error. One slip, one missed step, or even a sudden gust of wind could instantly turn the climb into a fatal fall, and even if they survive the descent, they are still trespassing. If you were in that situation, would you trust your control, or realize how quickly everything could go wrong? Just after dark deep in the Idaho woods, Angry Owl Outdoors had finished eating and was settling beside the creek for the night. The mosquitoes were relentless, but the forest itself had become completely quiet. That silence marked the beginning of a terrifying camping encounter. Then suddenly, everything changed. From somewhere just beyond the tree line, something shattered the stillness. An elk barked.
Stop.
A massive elk barked just beyond the trees here. It made Falcor flip out. I had to throw him in the tent. I got to go back and see if I even caught the bark. It did it a couple times. Very cool, but I could hear it crunching through the trees over.
Not the distant echoing sound usually heard across valleys. This was sharp, aggressive, and extremely close enough to feel through his chest. His dog reacted instantly, lunging and growling toward the trees. He barely managed to grab him and throw him into the tent before the dog could disappear into the darkness.
Through the trees over there, and it kept wandering up the mountainside this way. So there's a lot of bear too, but they leave you alone for the most part. It was just out of this world almost.
Branches snapped nearby. Heavy footsteps crashed through the brush only yards from camp, circling and climbing the slope above him. Then the barking came again, louder and far more aggressive, followed by the unmistakable sound of something massive moving uphill through the forest.
Fire died down. Get ready for bed. Got bed all situated. I'm fed, so now time to just sit back. Temperature's dropping, and it's a pretty nice evening. All right, guys, so finally time for bed. It's definitely time to sleep now, so this tent's working out fantastic. Nice and spacious. I got plenty of room for all my gear. My bag and gear is actually underneath the camera right now.
He stood completely still, listening carefully. Whatever had been watching from the darkness had finally revealed itself, and it was much larger than he originally expected.
Sit. Alright, good morning guys. Well, not a bad night other than the coyotes started popping off at about 5.
Sometimes a camping encounter like this isn't about what you see, but how close something gets before you finally realize it's there. If you were standing there in the dark, hearing something that close, would you stay calm? Or move before it came any closer? Sometimes a camping encounter doesn't happen deep in the wilderness, but inside places that should already be empty. When every sound seems to answer you, and every movement feels strangely timed, the real question stops being what's there, and becomes what's already aware of you. Ghosts on Trent is a YouTube channel run by Mark Stockton, a British creator who explores abandoned buildings and reportedly haunted locations throughout the United Kingdom. In his investigations, he spends nights inside these places using audio recorders, spirit apps, and cameras to document anything unusual that may happen. On August 11th, 2025, Mark returned to an abandoned farmhouse in the countryside after strange activity had reportedly been recorded there during a previous investigation. With the Ouija Brothers team requesting a second opinion, Mark brought another investigator named Paul to revisit the farmhouse and determine whether the same unexplained events would happen again.
You go up there then, mate. Yeah, well, maybe man will look on. What the fuck was that? You go up there then, mate. Yeah, well, maybe man will look on good for you. Just be careful of that floorboard, man. Do you hear that? There's one more place we need to check. Attic. You go up there then, mate. Yeah, well. Was it brakes outside on the road? No, it was he. He went, ooh. I'm getting goosebumps, man. Yeah, that was really loud. That was brilliant. If that's the only way you can communicate with us, we really do appreciate it.
Not long after entering the empty building, the atmosphere shifted noticeably. While checking the upper floor, an unsettling sound echoed through the farmhouse, faint but strong enough to stop both men immediately. The noise resembled a woman moaning, though there was no obvious explanation for what had broken the silence. Despite the growing unease, they continued searching for answers to questions they may not have truly wanted answered.
When I first came here, it happened somewhere else in the house. That's what makes it... No.
Was that what we heard this?
Well, let's just... Fuck. Just take 5 1 minute, man.
Okay.
Soon afterward, the same sound echoed again, slow and deliberate, almost like someone carefully walking across the floorboards directly above them. When they moved upstairs to investigate further, the noises changed into something even harder to explain. The voices were too unclear to fully understand, yet distinct enough that both investigators immediately recognized hearing them. After searching the corridor and attic again, the farmhouse remained completely empty, but the atmosphere suggested whatever had been there had not gone far.
We're going to come up there, but if you don't want us to, make a noise, and we'll stay here. If that's what you want, we can make that happen.
What the fuck? That was loud as fuck. My God.
We're going to come up there, and if you don't want us to, make a noise, and we'll stay here. If that's what you want, we can make that happen.
So you want us to stay here?
Do you hate people being here?
Then, a sudden response followed a powerful impact from the level above them, much louder than any earlier sound that night, arriving with unsettling precision.
We are going to be leaving soon. We've been here for a very long time. We're going to come back. Are we okay to come back to your home? If you don't want us to come back here, make a noise. Use your voice. What an incredible night. Leaving here speechless once again. It's been a great investigation.
I believe in it.
Do you?
Mate, you know, that especially that what really, really made me think, I thought, whoa, when you said about that knock.
We've just been up there, we haven't heard it.
Heard nothing.
Later, the investigators climbed the staircase once more, cautiously returning to the area where the earlier sounds had originated. But the moment they reached the upper level, the activity stopped entirely. The same rooms that moments earlier produced footsteps, heavy impacts, and distant voices had fallen completely silent. The farmhouse returned to total silence as they prepared to leave, but the unanswered questions remained, leaving behind the lingering feeling of a controlled and reactive camping encounter. Sometimes a camping encounter like this doesn't need anything visible to feel real. If you were in a situation where something seemed to react to you but never revealed itself, would you keep searching? Or leave before it answered again? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.